Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. I hope it finds you well out there. Friday, boy, what a tough day Friday was. All over the markets. We had a huge down day in Wall Street today. Problems in Korea. They hit the circuit breakers in Korea. They had to shut it down there for a little. Of course, they are probably some of the most over-leveraged out there. We'll see what happens. Calmer today. Everybody's still trying to figure out if we're going to end up with an oil problem or if we're going to get, I don't know, some kind of a peace deal. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. The bombs are still going out. Israel and Iran had traded, I guess, bombs this weekend, but they've agreed to stop for right now. So we'll see how that situation revolves, and settles itself. We do have a busy week this week as far as actual economic data. The big event will be CPI. So this is going to be, everybody's trying to position where this CPI is going to be. Right now, economists are saying that we're going to get a CPI somewhere around 4.3%. That is kind of the headline number that they are expecting. So it'll be the first time we get a PPI or a CPI number, above that 4% since, the last time, right? During the Biden administration after COVID. So we'll keep our eye on that. That is going to be an interesting number. Donald Trump this weekend does not want the Federal Reserve to be raising rates. I guess maybe if there's a good part, he didn't say that they would have to lower rates. So I don't know. Maybe we'll wait and see. We had our TXIT meeting Friday at the radio station. We have our TXIT meeting Monday here in Arizona. Make sure you RSVP. We have room. It is going to be at Dave & Buster's at Desert Ridge. Dave & Buster's, Desert Ridge, 6:30. We'll start. I think we'll have some food, and then we'll get into it. Bring all of your concerns, all of your questions. But if you can RSVP 800-951-0592, it'll be in the Platinum Room, which is a private room upstairs at Dave & Buster's. All of us are still waiting. They're making a big change development-wise to our dashboards, our coins. This is something that, we're hoping would have been resolved last week. They knew it was going to take a while. It's taken a little longer than expected. But, and again, I get the same info everybody else says. We're on the any day now. Any day now, all the coins for the last 9 or 10 days will be there, and apparently we'll have a much improved communication system, which I think is desperately needed. So we appreciate everyone's patience on that. Orem signups continue. If you want to get into Orem, call me. It's been, gosh, I'm coming up on 5 months now, and I started with my 10 grand. Coming up on getting it all back already. So a little different this time. Yeah, I'll get my money first, and then we'll talk about the profits later. You can do any of that RSVP for the meeting or anything like that. 800-951-0592. JP Morgan kind of joined the oil talk today. So where are we? Because I think that's kind of like the next thing people are going to worry about. We have a bubble, which, it is what it is when we print this much money, to be expected. We had a tough day Friday, but it's only one day. But everybody's like, well, gosh, what is oil going to do? Because the strait is still closed. Every day we kind of get we're working on it. JP Morgan now saying that if the strait stays closed beyond June, so they're giving it, maybe this is probably the most optimistic view I've seen. They're saying, hey, June. Most were like, hey, middle of June, something like that. Or even some have even said it right now. Hasn't happened yet. Right now, oil's still in the 90s. But according to JP Morgan, that major price increases will be occurring if something doesn't happen. So we've got, a little over 3 weeks. Something to think about. We'll be back. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Monday. Let's take a quick look at the market. So right now, on Wall Street, got the Dow up 200 points. The S&P's up 80. The NASDAQ's up 500. Right, the NASDAQ was down like 11 or 1,200 on Friday. The 10-year note still going back the wrong way again. So we got close to that 440 level. Back now 455 on the 10-year note. Crude oil's up about $1.50, $92.95. Gold right now is down $3, so it was down, $130, something like that, $130, $140 the other day. Right now, $43.25. Silver is higher today, about 50 cents here, $68 in change. But again, I think the big thing's going to be how bad is the CPI number going to get. The worse it is, I think, the more troubling it will be, right? Will we get that 10-year note back to that 466 level, kind of that line in the sand? The Japanese yen over 160, 160.08. It closed above 160 on Friday. They had it below that earlier today, but is now back above it, right? So that's one of those key levels that we need to watch out for. Bitcoin, got to start paying attention. 63,000. So Bitcoin, it broke Friday as well. Got to 59,000. Kind of maybe a wait and see today. And then, of course, cases of the screwworm in Texas. This is a cattle issue. I guess they've gotten a few cases there. We'll keep our eye on that. Obviously, beef prices already a fortune. Hopefully, this doesn't turn into like a bird flu and they just start taking out cow population. But we'll definitely watch for that and what the CPI will do. I think the core number maybe more important this time around. I expect the headline number to be high, right? But remember the core, right? They'll strip out food, they'll strip out energy, and that's, at least for right now, that's where we've seen a lot of the inflation. So all eyes, I think, are going to be on that core number. Is it going to be north of 3? And if it is, how far north of 3% will the core number be? So that is something that I think all of us are going to have to look out for. I know that it'll be the first time in 3 years that we're going to get a headline over 4. Some, I don't know that I necessarily believe this, but when it comes to fuel, they're looking for about 7% in this upcoming report. Obviously, that's just one component of it. They're expecting it to rise 0.55% month over month. April was 0.6. So this is a little less than April, but essentially, we're on track for, inflation, annualized. If you combine, let's just say that May comes in at 0.6 and April was 0.6. That's inflation of over 7, right? So that is something that we'll watch as well. The core, still thinking the core is going to get a little better this report. I don't know why, but in April, core was up 0.4. They're projecting a little over 0.2 for this month. So we'll see how that shakes out, but that is the big number, and that is going to be, Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be the core. That's going to be CPI, and then we'll have PPI on Thursday. So that'll be, okay, what are the producers feeling? And that will give us an indication of what is inflation going to look like in June. And this is kind of what we're all waiting for, right? Is oil going to 125 to 150 or not? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to, I guess we're all going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. Obviously, it'll be interesting to start hearing from Kevin Warsh and his thoughts this morning. South Korean stocks suffered a huge down swoon this morning, shutting off the exchange after it fell more than 10%. Finished the day down 8.3%. And I always worry that the break's going to be somewhere else, right? That is Korea going to fall apart? Is Japan going to fall apart? Is the UK going to fall apart? China, India, right? Who's going to start this? I don't think it's us. Only just because, we still have the reserve currency of the world. Now, that number continues to fall, right? As gold now has replaced the U.S. dollar as far as foreign holdings go. That happened last week, but it has been happening quite a bit. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see. This inflation is coming at the wrong time. Right now, everybody needs to spend more money. Then I'm talking about countries. And unfortunately, that's what happens, right? Inflation is they keep printing the money. Well, they've printed so much, Everybody needs it. And this has caused, I mean, look at the dollar. You know, the dollar's like incredibly strong right now. Incredibly strong. But not for a good reason, right? We want the dollar to be strong with good GDP growth and no inflation. Right? That's the goal. Right now, we have the illusion of dollar strength because the demand for currency is pushing everything out. In other words, everybody's selling. It's kind of weird, right? A lot of people all in on stocks, but when we talk about countries, they're trying to find any way to get money. Any way, right? So what's the problem with, like, say, Japan or South Korea or the UK? They don't have anything else. They don't have any gold to sell, right? I mean, something, like India could sell some gold that they needed to. Russia could sell gold. Poland could sell gold, right? There's plenty of countries that could. The problem is they need to get money to buy things. And they don't have it. And there's things that, let's face it, can't go without food, can't go without energy. And so what have they been doing? Selling treasuries. Which just does what? Makes bond yields rise. And remember, rising bond yields mean your bonds are worth less. It's kind of the opposite of what we normally think. Like, because anytime we think, hey, I get a better yield, right? Hey, I'm getting 4.5% or 5%. Hey, that's better than 3%. Well, it is if bond yields go down after you buy it. It isn't if bond yields rise after you buy it. And that's what we're facing here. We've got globally a problem with rising bond yields. We have liquidity issues that so far have been manageable. The fear is, and always is, what happens when it's not manageable. And that's kind of what we prepare for, right? We don't want to see it. We hope it doesn't happen. But like I've told you, they claim they've got all kinds of tools. Oh, we've got so many tools we can use. They're all the same, just with different names, right? Debt. That's the only tool that they have. And what is the problem that we have right now? Debt. So we're gonna have to wait and see on all of this. The good news is today is calmer. The bad news is there's got to be a lot more days like Friday, as these bubbles burst, and hopefully we let some air out. It's a good thing, right? Let some air out. It'll leave less splatter marks, right? We'll see. I don't know. I do know the president's going to be at the basketball game tonight. The Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs in Madison Square Garden. I think you can actually bet on whether or not he gets booed. I don't know. Not sure. It's a really expensive ticket. Yeah. I mean, I think like a nosebleed seat's like $10,000. We'll see. I don't know. What does that have to do with it? I think a lot. We'll see. Right? What's the temperature in the room right now? Traditionally, New York is not a Republican-friendly ground, but we'll see. 800-951-0592. Some good news. If you're in Bitcoin, Sailor Strategies, remember they've been the big accumulator. They had to sell some Bitcoin. They did come in and buy some Bitcoin this week. So maybe we'll see a floor in Bitcoin. But I think right now everyone's just going to be cautious. There's not a lot to talk about until we see the CPI number, or the war ends, or it doesn't, right? I mean, those are really the only thing I think that is going to drive the markets right now, is going to be what is the resolution for oil prices, and what about inflation? I will say that I think that you're going to get into some very, very rough water if oil prices go, let's say, I don't know, 110. They head higher than 110, good, go on their way to 120. Yeah, batten down the hatches. That's my advice. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. After Friday's sell-off, we've got some calmness today. Everyone's going to wait for Wednesday, unless some kind of crazy war stuff happens. Everybody is going to wait till Wednesday when that CPI number comes out. Right now, gold is up 43.35. I've got 15 $20 gold pieces. $4,300. So what, $35 below spot, but I only have 15 of them. U.S. Silver Eagle rolls. I've got about 15 rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles. And remember, silver up today. Right now, you're going to be, hold on a minute, let me just tell you what it is, $1,475. $1,475 for U.S. Silver Eagles. That's $100. I think $100. Yeah, that's $100 saving on Silver Eagle rolls today. Well, not quite. $1,535. Sorry, I had the wrong sheet. 15. So $1,475 on Silver Eagles, and a giveaway $4,300 price for $20 gold at 800-951-0592. So, Jason, had the bull back Friday, kind of calm today, but everyone's kind of waiting. How bad's that CPI number going to be Wednesday?
Yeah, I think it's been looking really closely at the SpaceX IPO. That's Friday. I think it's Friday. Is it next Monday? Friday. It's Friday. And this selling off of everything, apparently, because this thing gets to go into the NASDAQ in 15 days, 3 days? 3 days. In 3 days, it gets to immediately be in the NASDAQ. So everything about the rules for an IPO is changed for this one. So the sell-off of gold, the sell-off of Bitcoin, the sell-off of all this stuff, the idea is everyone's getting in early. It's easier to get in early. The average guy can go in on E-Trade or Robinhood and buy into this thing. And so for the more suspicious of the markets, right? The ones that are gold guys. The idea is that you can also sell this off sooner than you normally would an IPO. There's usually a hold period. Well, I think you could sell it at the end of June. We're in June. You can sell it off in June. So and the way they've got I saw a lot of stuff about this, Joe, and the idea I think is kind of a good pump, and then the markets will actually benefit from this, because when the dumping of it happens, it's not going to dump like a normal IPO. It won't crash as fast, but all that money will go back into the markets to rebuy all the assets that have been selling off. So we could be seeing a lot more selling off this week leading up to the the IPO being introduced, and then you got the people that want to buy it after the IPO is released. Its evaluation is so off the charts.
A good point with SpaceX, because we haven't seen an IPO like this in a very, very long time. And remember, the IPO market used to be the hottest game in town. This is coming in astronomically priced as far as any type of metrics goes, but because of AI data, where SpaceX, you're thinking, well, it's space, and it's a lot more than space. Robotics, AI, data, all that stuff. I think you're right, Jason. That probably is another one of these factors. Is going to be how that is received by the markets. It's going to be, I think it's going to be big. I mean, it's going to be a big deal. I think, like a lot of the IPOs, this is just my guess. I could totally be wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if it falls when the IPO comes out, because it is priced so highly. But there's going to be plenty of people buying it.
Right. And you can't sell it off immediately, but it's got a faster turnaround time. The idea is the way that they set the rules up, that this might not crash like most IPOs when they have their evaluation. It gets bought up, and then the earlier guys in sell off. So it's going to be an interesting thing to watch, Joe, and I think it affects the price of other assets right now.
Well, let's face it. It is. If it goes the way they expect, it won't be long, right? They'll go right to the Dow sooner or later if things go the way they're hoping for. I guess Elon Musk is going to be maybe the world's first trillionaire. Wow. Think about how much money we've created that we can have that actually be the case. So, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Throw that on there, right? The SpaceX IPO and how that's going to look. And like Jason said, this isn't your typical IPO. They get to play with a couple of different sets of rules from the IPOs before it, and there's two other major companies that are rolled into SpaceX. Excuse me. Elon Musk's previous companies are rolled into this. They've been rolling these companies that he's taken public into this one. So people with stock in the previous companies have that rolling into this. This thing is massive, and SpaceX is considered an AI company. There's two more AI IPOs coming out later this year, expecting to do the same type of thing. So this sort of pumping up and trying to keep markets looking better and floating, Joe. I mean, SpaceX could rocket to one of the top companies immediately. Right now, you know what? When you think about in these terms, what could give the market another catalyst to go higher? SpaceX is one of those things, right? Without a doubt, right?
Artemis 2 wasn't even SpaceX, but Artemis 2 obviously brings positive energy to the average ma and pa buying into it, Joe.
How do we keep the bubble going? Get Elon Musk off the bench. Let's go. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. Again, a big opportunity in gold and silver today. $20 gold pieces, $4,300. That is well below spot right now. And then U.S. Silver Eagles all the way down to $1,475 a roll, and 800-951-0592. By the way, that puts silver below $74. Crazy. Silver was over $74 Friday. 800-951-0592. I will tell you, supplies are limited. Gold's up 10 right now, 43.40. Silver's up $1, 68.75. Wall Street's up $100. The Nasdaq's up 400. Remember, the Nasdaq had a tough day on Friday. But Jason and I, just talking about how bad's inflation going to be on Wednesday, and then the SpaceX IPO, right? Things that can keep the bubble going. I think they're going to try to ignore the headline number on inflation Wednesday, strip out food and energy, and hope that they have a core number, somewhere near 3% or less, right? That would be, I don't know that they can get less, but we'll see. And then, of course, the headline number going to be well above 4%. I think that's kind of expected. Going to be interesting, Jason. What do you think gold's going to do with the inflation number?
I think gold is in a sideways position for a while. We'll see if it goes below where it just hit on Friday, but I think it's waiting a little bit more, Joe, and then when gold starts to hit and silver starts to hit, that'll be probably right before the inflation gets worse. Because remember, they've got these things in place, the supplementary leverage ratio rule and things of this nature, which actually can help slow the inflation. But ultimately, because of that rule and because of what they're attempting to do with these IPOs, for example, it may not come in immediately. But it's already, the numbers are creeping up, right, Joe? The numbers are already going straight up, but the actual average American feeling it's coming, guys. It's coming. This is why we do what we do. Gold will probably see this at some point, sniff it out, and start going up. I just think summer might be a little calm, maybe for another month or two, Joe. I don't know, but this is why you should buy it now. This is why you shouldn't be waiting to buy it, especially when it's down $150 on Friday. You guys should be all over it. We took a crack on Friday to sell some of it. I don't even know if we got any orders, but now gold is up a little bit this morning, and Joe is still selling what we were selling Friday afternoon. So I'd take advantage.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably the most likely scenario is gold is gonna July's going to be interesting. How's that? I think July we're going to get that direction going back once again. We've kind of, I don't know, maybe been dodging bullets, so to speak, when it comes to energy prices in general. I mean, the United States and China have dumped record amounts of supply onto the market to keep prices kind of in check. And we just don't know what day that runs out, right? Anywhere from, they could say tomorrow. Every week we get an oil inventory report. So Thursday, I'll be talking about that, right? That'll be another thing to look out for. How big are the drops in the oil inventories? And when does that, what timeline does that put us on? But for absolute, this is a great day to buy. And as Jason said, hey, we're off the lows from Friday. I kept the price the same, $4,300 at 800-951-0592. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if real rates start driving gold again. I think that's kind of the next setup here, right? Which is, okay, gold was running until essentially the 10-year note broke 4.4, and then everyone's kind of, oh, no, a dollar rally. We've had this huge dollar rally, but not for a good reason, right? We've had a dollar rally for a bad reason. I think at some point, Jason, that changes, and all of a sudden You could have higher rates having higher gold prices and lower rates having higher gold prices. I think either one of those scenarios is going to be very, very, and I think both. Because I think rates are going to go higher in the short term, but before the end of the year, I think we're going to still be talking about rates falling under the Kevin Warsh administration. And, of course, I'm assuming at some point, right, the Strait of Hormuz has to open at some point.
Yeah, we don't know when, though. We don't know where the economics of this has to stop, because as soon as the United States decided to blockade the entire Gulf, it was made quite clear they needed to be closed for quite a long time. I mean, long time, I think it's 6 months. It's considered a long time, and we're fastly going to approach that, aren't we, Joe?
Yeah, well, you know what? We just started month 4, right? We just started the 4th month, so 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason wrapping it up next. 800-951-0592, final segment here. Again, the remaining $20 gold pieces, $4,300, and what's left of my Silver Eagles, all the way down to $1,475 at 800-951-0592. And I think we'll have... I think it's going to be an interesting week. We've got a bunch of different data points out, this SpaceX IPO, and, well, we'll see what happens on the Iran front. I don't know that. I think we'll be right where we've been for quite a while here, which is no news, and we'll see. We'll see. Gold's up $15 now, so $43.45. Man, if we get back above that 200-day moving average, we could maybe, could we see the lows? We don't know. Too early to tell, but definitely a great opportunity in silver. Like I said, $68.75, and we'll get, you know what else we'll see is we're going to start hearing comments from Kevin Warsh. And I think right now everybody's saying, hey, we can't lower rates just yet. I still don't really hear any of them saying we need to raise rates. I don't know if what if oil goes to 130, 140? You think they'd raise rates, Jason? I don't think they will. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to raise rates. I don't think they're going to raise rates. And, well, I've seen so much information on why they don't have to raise rates because of what's getting ready to happen the rest of the summer and into fall. So I don't think they will, Joe. But, I mean, I guess if there's market destruction, but we're talking about several things that make it sound like the markets are going to try to pump one more time. And so,
hey, that's what I say, right? Maybe do we have one more pump in us? And I say the answer to that is absolutely we do. So we'll see what happens. 800-951-0592. And, you know, the one other thing is the tax revenue has been spent by the Treasury now. So the Treasury auctions are gaining in size. So we're going to have even more treasuries to sell that we didn't have for... Well, what did we get? We got about 5 weeks, right? 5 weeks out of 5-6 weeks out of the tax season. So yeah, I think higher rates, but no rate cuts. That's where I'm at on it. Higher rates, no rate cuts, and I still think Wall Street has at least one more rally left in it. How's that? You know what? That's positive.
And if there's a lot of inflation can artificially pump the markets too, Joe. That's one of those things. The markets have been going up for years and years, and one of the reasons is because everything just costs more, and companies cost more. So stocks should go up with inflation. It's not a hedge against inflation, not like gold and silver is. But we have inflation. Asset prices will go up. It'll be hard to actually crash it unless there's a huge sell-off, right, Joe? And right now, you got people getting all excited about buying by Friday.
outer space. Oh, man. God bless everybody.